All right, everyone, we're going to get going here in just a couple minutes. Let's let Otis join in. I hope everyone who's attended some of these other sessions today has gotten a lot of value out of it. I've been listening in, and I think I've been through this thing many, many times, and I'm still pulling away stuff that hearing things in a different way that I know have already brought me value. So I hope you guys are all learning something and taking something away. We're going to wait here for Otis to rejoin us, and then we will get going. Today's session, just to kind of lay the foundation here, is going to be a very deep dive into Social 101, right? You notice we're going to keep it very, very basic. We're going to dive into everything we're going to show you today. In this session will be 100% free. Doesn't mean that it's easy necessarily. It doesn't mean that it's not without work and effort, but it's certainly something that I think every single agent is capable of. If you are already under the Beggins umbrella, you've probably heard a lot of what we're going to say before, but until you all do it, we're going to keep smacking you in the face with it. And I believe at some point you will believe that this truly will work and help your business, and you'll do it. So we're going to start very basic though. We are going to dive into each platform, how it all works, what to do on that platform. And then Otis is also, we're adding in a new platform that we've never really talked about at Next Level, which is Google My Business, which Otis is very, very in depth, knows a lot about. And so we're going to let him dive into that as well towards the end. So for those of you that are from another company, don't know who we are, my name is Mike Puma. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer here at C21 Beggins and C21 B3. And I'm joined by my esteemed co-host, Otis Bass, who's our VP of Agent Development. And we're here to dive into Social 101. So like I said, very basic class today. Tomorrow, Otis and I are going to dive into some more advanced ways to do it and actually how to create content, and then how we distribute that content and leverage that to help grow our business. But today is all about just foundational stuff. And in my opinion, all of the activities that we should be doing every single day from a social media perspective. Otis, anything to add before we dive in?
No, you pretty much said it all. It's really creating a platform so that way you're not a secret agent. If any of your advocates want to send someone your way, you know, you have a friend that has a real estate need and they're going to say, hey, yeah, I need you to talk to Otis. Most of the time people are going to Google your name. And so one of the things that we're doing here is just creating that platform so that way you can be found and your story is told.
100%. All right, so on that note, I'm going to share my screen here. Okay, so back to the basics, Social 101. Social is simple, don't complicate it. I think this is something, you know, I coach with hundreds of agents and I hear it all the time. You know, everyone wants to complicate social media. And there are parts of social that can get complicated. When you get into ads and building out funnels, it can get complicated. We're not talking about any of that here today. This is a simple tool to be able to use and leverage in your business. And so we're going to talk through exactly how to do that today. If I could get this to move forward, that would be awesome. Okay, so we're going to go over who, what, when, where, and how, right? These are all the questions that you are likely asking yourself as an agent. And so here's the basic principle that I live on when it comes to social. Social is simply conversations at scale. That's what social is, right? We all treat it as this marketing platform, and it is very possible to market your business on social. But we have to stop looking at this as a marketing tool and look at social as simply a way for you to have conversations with other people, but a lot of them in a very quick and effective way to do it, right? In the same way that if I walked into a networking gathering and started talking to someone one-on-one, I can do that on a social level, right? By using social media the way that it was meant to be used, which is just to have conversations with people. And the best part is you can do it from your pajamas in your living room, right? So that is one of the advantages. So let's start with who. All we're really talking about today is your sphere. People that already know you, they already like you, they already trust you for the most part. They have some connection to you, because if they didn't, you likely wouldn't be connected to them on one of these platforms that we're going to dive into. And then we're even going to dive a little bit into how do we grow that sphere, and how do we build out maybe parts of our sphere that we haven't even really considered, such as your neighborhood, local community groups, and how we can leverage those on these social platforms. Obviously, our sphere, though, and this is important, varies platform to platform. I know my following on LinkedIn is different than my following that we've built on TikTok. That is different than the following I've built on Instagram. That is different than the following I built on Facebook, right? And Otis, I'm sure you could speak to that too. Is your audience very different depending on the platform that you're engaging on? Especially, I know you still sell homes. So as an agent, how are you communicating differently on each of these platforms?
Yeah, it's about the method of connection and how my relationship is with those particular people that I'm working and connecting with. So some of my business platform crosses over in the personal platform. So Facebook is a really useful tool for me when it comes to parents of kids I coach, and connecting with past friends from school and so forth. But then some of that same audience isn't there for Instagram and vice versa. And then I use LinkedIn as a great platform for professional networking, where most of my connections on LinkedIn are through the professional world of some sort. And so the different platforms is definitely different pathways of connections for me. There's no doubt about that.
100%. Yep. No, that's a perfect way to describe it. And so the key here, guys, before we even dive into the actual activities that we're going to do, is just really understanding that concept, though, that, I see so often we take a piece of content, or we try and be the same human on Facebook that to our audience on LinkedIn, and that oftentimes doesn't work. Sometimes the picture or the video and the copy will translate very well from platform to platform, but the actual copy may need to vary a little bit. Maybe the picture needs to vary a bit. Maybe we just need to, on Instagram and LinkedIn, you're going to have hashtags. Those really don't belong in Facebook, and it can feel off. So that kind of stuff we're going to dive more into tomorrow when it comes to actual content distribution. But just the general concept of who is that we want to attack our sphere, but we want to understand that our sphere is different depending on the group, depending on the platform. So we're going to go into that a little bit here. Now, the what is you? This is one of the most common questions I get. What do I post about? You. Just be you. This is where we tend to overcomplicate it. And there's a lot of reasons that we do that. But this is where most people struggle, because they think they have to be something else. Guys, they're connected to you because they like you. They're not connected to you because they think you might give them pictures of houses. That's not why they're connected to you. They're connected with you because they want to know that you're a human being. They want to know that you have a life, you have kids, you have a husband, a wife, whatever the situation, they want you. So 9 times out of 10, that's what you need to give them, right? This is all about a game of engagement, and you're going to see exactly why as we go into some of the activities we're going to do and how those work, and how those actually help you leverage the platform and the way that the algorithms on the platforms work. So they just want you. So give them you, okay? Don't overthink this, and just honestly, just create a nice, easy way for you to post about things going on in your life, right? And obviously everyone's different. Some people are willing to show their kids, some people aren't. Some people are willing to share things about themselves, some people aren't. That's okay. But just understand that you posting open houses constantly is not going to do the job, okay? Because they don't always care about that open house. They care about what you and what's going on in your world. When? As much as humanly possible. Now, I hear this a lot, and we're going to dive into the excuses here in a minute. Oh, but I don't want to overwhelm them. Okay, I hear this all the time. First of all, you're posting once every 10 days. You're not overwhelming anyone. Okay, if anything, you're very much underwhelming everyone. So we've got to come up with a plan here to be able to at least, at the very least, be consistent enough to do this on a daily basis, okay? And the activities in the daily guide that we're going to go through here in a few minutes is going to give you a very clear, easy path to be able to do that. But honestly, as much as possible, if you are not posting every day, you really need to be. If you're not following the daily guide I'm about to go to, you need to be. Okay, we need to have daily social activities just so that we stay top of mind with our sphere. That's it. I'm not talking about running ads. I'm not talking about anything. I'm just talking about engaging with your sphere on these different platforms as much as we can. And I can tell you that at the brokerage level, we often will post anywhere from 3 to 7 times a day per platform. And we still are not even at the tip of the iceberg of what we could do and still not overwhelm the system, okay? It's built in such a way that the algorithm is never going to allow someone's feed to get overwhelmed by you. It's not gonna happen, right? And here's the worst part. When someone does see too much of you, they just keep scrolling. That's not a big deal, okay? So we're gonna talk about that a little bit more detail here in a few minutes. So the platforms we are going to heavily focus on today will be Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. We will discuss Twitter as well. Google My Business, Otis is going to dive in on, and that is a huge tool now that has really emerged as being a really effective tool, especially in real estate. And I will touch on TikTok, but we're not going to spend a whole lot of time on that just yet. So how? We need to create a simple plan. And the daily marketing plan that we came up with was something that we've just spent time realizing, okay, how can we simplify social down to something that an agent who's busy, who's trying to be productive, who's trying to sell real estate can actually still execute on, and that way they're consistent when it comes to social media. And that's the plan we built. And so that's really the how. That's how we're going to actually take care of all these concepts and actually execute them from a social perspective. But before we do that, we do need to talk about the excuses. And I've hit on a few of them because I'm sure all of you that are watching have said this to someone at some point. Oh, I don't have time. My job is to sell homes, not through social media. Oh, I don't know what to say or post. I didn't grow up with this. I don't know how to post. I heard you should only post at 10 a.m. and I can't do it then, right? And you guys can read the rest of these. Guys, these are all excuses. None of these are factual in any way, shape, or form. And the daily plan that I'm about to give you eliminates every single one of these because there's no way in the world that you cannot execute on the plan I give you. So before I move on, Otis, you coach a lot of agents. Have you heard any of these excuses?
Many times.
It's like a rite of passage. So, I mean, it's just the reality, guys. And I get it, right? I do. I understand it. I do this for a living, and it's time consuming. So I get it. But we've really come up with a plan that I think all of you are going to be able to execute on. And here's why. The world will never know how great of an agent you are unless you tell them. So we have to communicate. We have to talk to people. And you're going to hear Craig and Jeff say that. They already said it this morning if you're attending any of those sessions. And you're going to hear them say it probably 5 to 10 more times over the next couple days. You've got to talk to people. And that's all social is, right? It's conversations at scale. So we've got to do it. And if we want consistent results, we have to take consistent action. So that's also how this plan came to be. And that's really the foundation. Now, before we go through the daily activities that we're going to perform, I do want to create a little bit of a framework for you. So ultimately, we've got to create business profiles. So here's a couple of the big things that we need to do. Really two. We need to create business profile on every platform, and then we need to make sure that profile is complete. Okay? Let me show you what I mean by this. Hold on one second. Just minimize this. And we are going to go to Facebook real quick. I'm just going to show you what I mean. So, for those of you that do not have a business profile, I get the question quite often, Well, why do I need it, right? You need it for a couple reasons. Number one, if you ever want to run ads at some point, you need a business account to be able to do that. But also, you are a business. So it's time that we treat ourselves like a business and we run it like a business, and that includes having a business profile. So for those of you that have no idea what I'm talking about, because it is possible that you're sitting here, there are several ways to do this, okay? When you come into Facebook, you'll see pages. These are your business pages, right? And so we want to create a business page. And so if I click on pages, obviously we already have some, but if you don't have one, you're going to have nothing here. And you're going to click create new page, and you're going to name your business. Now, this is a common question. What do I name it? You can name it whatever you want, and then obviously depending on what state you're in, because I know some of you are from other states, there are some restrictions to make sure that you talk with your broker to understand, if you can or cannot say something in the heading of your name. There are some marketing restrictions around that depending on your jurisdiction. But for the most part, if you're with a national brand like Century 21, have that in the name somewhere. It's just my suggestion. But every single person who sees Century 21 subconsciously is going to associate you to real estate. And that is a powerful tool, especially when we start to dive in to some of the things that we're going to be doing here in a minute with our daily marketing guide. You're going to see how that plays out. But it's just really, really important that you have Century 21. The name needs to associate you to real estate, right? Plain and simple. So you're going to name your page, and then you're going to click your category, and real estate agent is one of them. Okay, so you click real estate agent, and description is important. You're going to talk about yourself here, a little bio. If you watch the morning session where Jeff and Craig dove lightly into DISC, they're going to dive more heavily in that tomorrow. I believe Jeff and Chris are. Pay attention to that. Make sure we're using DISC in here, but at the very least, we need this filled out, okay? So once you do that, we're going to start filling all this other stuff out, and that's really what I mean by a complete profile. So I'm going to go back real quick and kind of show you what this means. All right, so as an example, if I click on our business page here, come on. Okay. So we have a video. This could be a static image here. We have a profile picture. Obviously, this would be a view. My suggestion, Century 21, your name tag, make sure that this represents real estate so that when people see it, they think real estate. Your name will be here. Real estate, Century 21. Anyone who just glances at this knows we're in real estate. Okay, so be smart with your page name. We have our connect with us. These buttons are all customizable, but when you get down here, all of this stuff is filled out. Make sure your contact information, everything is filled out. It's important. You don't want missing information on your business page, okay? Now, part of the framework, right, is also understanding who we can invite and who we can't invite, and the reason we have a business page. So, yes, you can run ads eventually. More importantly, you can also get bigger analytics. So as you do create content, you're going to have access to dive into the demographics of each post, which is important. You can only do that from a business page. And again, it's setting you up to separate you as a person and your business. That separation is important, right? So we want them to coincide with one another, but at the same time, we want to make sure that we have a business outlet and then we have our personal outlet. Some of you are going to be more willing to cross them over than others. You're going to see in the daily marketing guide where I suggest and how I suggest to do that. When it comes to growing the network, because this is the biggest problem most people have. When you first create this page, there's no one following it, right? There's nothing here. So we're going to start to create content and no one's going to see it, okay? We have the luxury of having over 5,000 people follow the page. You're not going to have that right away. So there's a couple ways that you can do that. You can directly invite anyone that you're personally connected with, okay? Anyone that you are personally connected with. So if you are willing to do that, you can. Now you have the option to sit there and go one by one and self-select out anyone that you don't want to follow your business page, and or you can just select everyone, okay? And I'm going to have Otis show you in a couple minutes what he has done with his categories of his on his friends list in the personal side, because I really like what he's done there. And I think it's a really good idea, and so I'll let Otis share that here in a few minutes. But when we invite people, you have the luxury. Invite everyone or don't invite any of them, or invite one by one. So that's one way to get you started. But if we know that we can only invite people that we're personally connected with, then the main next step is we have to get more people to follow us personally, so then we can directly invite. Now, obviously, you could take the link to your page and you could message it out. You could take the link to your page and text it out to your friends and family, email it out, and try and get people to click through and come like the page. You can also run ads to do this, right? I don't love any of that. One of the best ways to do it is start posting content and then come down here and click where you see the little business icon here. If I click myself, that changes. Now I'm sharing it as myself. Whoops. Okay, you see it change. So now I'm sharing it as myself, and I click share. It's going to give me the option now to share this to my public profile, my personal profile. So my suggestion is, if you really want to grow your network, create content for the business page and share it to your personal page. I'm also going to share it into groups, and we're going to dive into this more here in just a few minutes, and we're going to dive into this heavily tomorrow when it comes to creating and distributing content, right? But I just want to show you this is how you're going to grow your page, because I know a lot of you have either started a business page, you're thinking about starting a business page, but the biggest roadblock you have is no one's going to see it. Yes, they will, but you're going to have to share it. You're going to have to get content going. Now, going back to what I said in the beginning, you're talking to your sphere. So you have to understand what your sphere cares about, or they're never going to engage with it. And engagement is everything when it comes to social and growing your network and getting more and more people to follow your stuff and see your stuff. Because even if you do this extremely, extremely well, okay, 10% of your following. So if we do a really good job, 500 people are going to see our posts. 10% engagement is about what you can expect of your total following. I am not going to post and get 5,000 people to see it. It's not going to happen, not unless I pay for it. So from an organic perspective, if you're getting about 10%, you're doing a really good job. Okay, so just keep that in mind. So we have to help fuel it, right? We've got to share it, and we've got to do that to our personal page, and we have to do that in the groups. And we're going to dive into that as part of our daily guide here. Okay, but I just want to lay that foundation. Now, same thing on Instagram. Instagram, we have the option to have a personal profile, business profile. Again, if we're going to run ads, the business profile is necessary. Also on Instagram, the business profile gives you more analytics. Okay, so if we want analytics on the content we're pushing out, there's advantages to the business profile. There's some other advantages when it comes to the algorithm. So again, that I'm not, unless you're going to run ads, I'm not as hard pressed, but I still like to have separation from business to personal, so I can leverage the two to share content back and forth. Okay. If you guys have any questions about that, make sure you put it in the chat. I think Otis is going to monitor the chat here, so if he sees anything come through, we'll make sure we try and answer it. Okay, so let's go back to our screen share here. And there we go. Okay, so we're going to add, Otis, before I dive into the daily marketing guide, anything you want to add before we go into kind of the step-by-step that we're going to do every day?
Yeah, if you are an agent that does have a hard time posting on a daily basis, and you're with Century 21, you can subscribe to Meteor Go, and they will post for you on your business page once or twice a day, depending on what you set up. And so that way, it at least helps you get your business out there without you having to be on and creating those good habits. It'll help you just get yourself out there. And so you can use different little platforms outside of Century 21, but if you're with Century 21, Meteor Go is a pretty inexpensive way to continue your post on your business platform.
Yep, great point. And that actually, we will mention and hit that a little bit here in this daily marketing guide. So that's a great point. And I did see, I believe, Shaquan or someone's asked how you create a business profile on Instagram. We're going to dive into the daily marketing guide. Instagram is one of the platforms we're going to hit. So I will certainly hit that as we go in. Okay. Okay. So we, sorry, hit that a couple times. Okay. So we're going to dive into the daily marketing guide, and I'm going to show you a couple ways to actually get to this. So hold on 1 second, because I'm going to stop sharing on this and share on my other device. Hold on 1 second. So if you're an agent with us, with C21 Beggins, you have the mobile app. Okay. If you go into your mobile app, when this loads here, you're going to see daily marketing guide, and you click that. But I want all of you to do this, and I'm going to show you where everyone can have access to this when we are all said and done. Okay, so this is our daily marketing guide. This is literally going to walk us through step by step on exactly what we should be doing and how we should be doing it. So step 1, log into Facebook, go through your post, your feed, and comment on 5 different posts by 5 different people. Be strategic on whom you comment on. Select friends and family that you do not engage with as much, or even past clients. This is literally what I mean, because I don't want us to overcomplicate this. I literally want you to open up Facebook. I want you to scroll through your feed. I want you to look at their posts. So excited to be a new master artist and looking forward to showing you how much easier your life can be with awesome makeup. Comment. Congrats. That's awesome. I bet Courtney would like this. Does not matter, guys, what I comment. Here's the purpose of this. And now I'm going to go back. There's 1, right? We said to do this 5 times. That's literally all I'm going to do. Comment. They are jamming. Done. Move on. We're going to do this 5 different posts. Now, the strategy that comes in is don't go comment on your mom's stuff. Okay? She already knows you and loves you. Let's be strategic about who and what we post on. So Chuck, I kind of know. I haven't seen him in a long time. So I'm going to look at this. Love it, right? Again, doesn't matter. Now, why is this effective? It's effective on several fronts. Number 1, the poster just got a notification from Facebook that I commented on their post, okay? Which means my name is now coming relevant. They probably already know me or connected to me in some way, right? Or they wouldn't be in my feed to some degree. But now I just made them think of me. So again, we're engaging with our sphere, right? So if we're engaging with our sphere, our whole objective is just to get them to think of us and stay top of mind. So now by commenting, they're gonna get a notification. Additionally, all these other people, 10 comments, these other 9 comments, because I was one of them on this post, those people are gonna get a notification that I just commented on the same post that they commented on. So now I'm getting in front of other people who weren't in my sphere, but now we're going to say, oh, what did he comment? And we're human beings, so we're curious. What did they comment? Who commented? Who is that? And then what do most people do? They're going to come in and they're going to say, oh, wait a minute. Mike just commented. Let's see, I just got 2 notifications. So the person I just commented on already commented, right? This is how this works, guys. This is conversation at scale. That took 2 seconds for me to comment, but Tony just thought of me, right? That's the point of this. It's the secret sauce of social. It doesn't have to be super complicated. But then what's going to happen is people who just got that notification are going to come in to see what I said. And you know what? A lot of people are going to say, well, who's that? And they're going to click on me. And when they click on me, this is why it is super, super important that we have our profile built out. Because when they click on me, I want them to instantly know that I am real estate, right? Boom, C21 Beggins, C21 B3. They're going to see as they scroll down, where am I? Where have I been? Where did I go to school? Who am I married to? Now, some of you are afraid to share this information. Guys, a little secret for you. Everyone knows it and can find it, okay? We live in a social society now. Unless you are living under a rock somewhere, your information is going to be shared. So you want to have this, right? Because then for most of you, this business page here is going to be your business page. So now they might be like, oh, who's that? And they're going to click, and now they're going to end up on your business page. This is how this works, right? It's just creating the framework to give yourself opportunity to get exposure and to remain top of mind with people, okay? And how long, now I've already done 2, how long would it really take you to scroll through your feed and comment? Crazy, right? Okay, there's 3. Let's keep scrolling. 2. And you may not want to comment on everything. If you see political stuff, you may not want to comment on it. There is a fine line. And you want to be contextual to the post. Right now, why did I comment on this one? Because I know that this type of post here is already got 10 comments. I like to pick post number 1 of people that I don't really engage with often. I couldn't even tell you really who Olympia is. I don't engage with Olympia that much, so that's a good person to post on for me. Also, I want content that I feel like is going to get a lot of engagement, because again, I want those notifications to be sent out to as many different people as possible so I get exposure to as many people as possible. And I'm going to do one more. I hope these work, right? Whatever. How long did that take? A few minutes? And I took time to explain each one, okay? So now, in a few minutes, we just had 5 conversations, or at least started 5 conversations. Does everyone understand that this is conversations at scale? This is how we have conversations in the social world. They say something, we say something. Sounds familiar, right? It's a conversation. That's all we're doing. So I just started 5 conversations in a matter of minutes, okay? Let's go back to our guide. Now we're going to do the similar concept, engage, so step in groups. So step 2 is we're going to go to the search bar of Facebook at the top. You're going to type in your community or area that you focus on for your business, and we're going to look at the different options, and then we're going to click groups. Okay, so what do I mean? Literally, we're going to go to the search bar, and we're going to do Wesley Chapel, okay, as an example. That's where I live. And I'm going to click on this Wesley Chapel community group, and I'm going to do the same thing. Now, why am I doing this in Wesley Chapel? Because I am doing business in Wesley Chapel. Now, while I can't come in here and advertise my business, I sure as heck can bring value and engage with people in it, because every single person in this community is someone that could be a prospective client. So I want to be top of mind. I want them to say, who is that? I want them to have a conversation with me, right? So very, very simple. This isn't complicated. All of us can do this, and all of us can take a few minutes, right? Now, looking for recommendations. Can anyone recommend an excellent dentist specializing in crowns? I hate the dentist, but I go to Aspen Dental. Okay, if you don't have a recommendation, don't give one. I didn't say whether they were good or not, right? But I just want them to, I just want to provide value in some way. Hey, looking for a hair salon, I can't help, right, on that, so I'm going to keep scrolling. Now, again, be strategic. I could comment on that, but it hasn't gotten a lot of engagement. But there's some posts in here that have gotten engagement, so I'm going to post on those. Or a post that I feel like I can bring value to, I'm going to post on those, okay? So it's just, again, being strategic. But, you know, this is the child who was found today. I'm so glad he was found. so glad he was found. Again, guys, just having conversations, but now I'm strategically doing it with people in a community group. I think you guys get the idea. So we're going to do that 5 times. Okay, 5 times. So let's go back to our guide. So also in there, step 3, which I did not do because I was already a member of it, we're going to join and request every group that is relevant to you and your farm. We do in the guide that you're going to have, I actually include a screen share of exactly how to do that. I will show you very quickly what I mean. So if I search, I'm actually going to change it. Let me search to Apollo Beach. If I search Apollo Beach in here and I come over, and let's do it by, sorry, filters. No, I don't want to do that. Let's do it by, you know what, actually, let's do it this way. Sorry, I'm searching in groups here. Groups, here we go. I'm gonna do Apollo Beach. Okay, now these are all groups related to Apollo Beach. So if I was an agent who wanted to work Apollo Beach, I'm going to come join every single one of these groups. Now, some are going to be private groups that I'll have to answer a couple questions on. Maybe I get approved, maybe I don't. Most of the time, you're going to get approved. Okay. I also want to strategically pay attention to how many members of the group are there and how active is there. This group here, 46,000 members, 2.7 thousand posts a day. It's a yard sale group. Cool. Maybe you have something to sell. Maybe you want to go in and just engage with people in there, even if you're not, don't tell them I said this, but even if you're not really interested in what they're selling, maybe act like you are, because it's a reason to have a conversation with someone who is selling stuff. What do people who are about to move tend to do? Sell stuff, right? Yard sales are very, very common. And even if not, they tend to be homeowners who are cleaning out for some reason. Having a relationship and conversation with them is a good idea. Okay, so again, not super complicated. Come in, join all these groups, and in case you need a refresher on it, I do in the daily guide include a screen share of exactly how to do that. Now we're going to go into each group and leave a comment. I already showed you how to do that. And now we're going to create a post for our business page. If you do not want to create content, you can sign up and pay for Meteor Go, as Otis mentioned. I do include the link here. If you are not a Century 21 agent, this will not work for you. But Century 21, we did negotiate a special deal with them. So to put this in perspective for you guys, they will post content for you. So you go in when you create your account, Meteor Go, you'll go in, you'll create, they have a variety of topics. You can pick one topic or multiple topics that you want them to create content on. You will do that, and then you will tell them that you want them to post up to 2 times per day, 7 days a week. They will curate the article for you, and they will post it on your behalf. They will also do things like open house videos, listing videos, all sorts of crazy stuff. The cost is $199 a year, which is $17 a month, and they will do all of that for you. So it is an insanely cheap offering for what they do. They do a great job. So if you want to pay for that just to have additional content put, then you can do that. But ultimately, we want to create a post for our business page. So that means we've created the business page, right? Like we just talked about a few minutes ago. And so I'm going to come into my business page, get back to my home screen here. Okay, so we're going to come to our business page, and we're going to create a post. So for those of you, this is Social 101. I want to show you literally how to do this so that there is no excuse. I'm going to create publish. Now, ideally, I'm going to have a photo or video to post here. Okay, now, if you're one of our agents, if you're a Century 21 Beggins agent, at the very least, even if you're not going to use Meteor Go, I create a post for you every single day that is in your inbox every morning, typically before 7 a.m. That is a custom graphic, custom video, custom whatever that I write the copy for and send it to you. So literally all you have to do is click save and then come here and post it. Okay? if you do not have a me in your office that is going to do that for you, then you need to do it yourself. Now, if the next words out of your mouth are going to be, well, I don't want to take a photo of myself and I don't know how to do that. Well, fine. Then you're going to write something. Write a post. Write what's going on in the world. Write a deals. Can you believe yesterday we sold 27 homes, right? Find out what your brokerage is doing. Okay, if you're with us, you have the hot sheet that comes out every day. You don't want to post a picture? Cool. What was on the hot sheet? Talk about it. Okay, come up with something. You just need to post a picture, words, text, something here. Okay. If you do have me, then you would have gotten this post this morning. You can come here, click that, click done, and then write the copy. I even write the copy for you, so literally you could have copied and pasted, and then we're going to share that post. Okay? Now, discard this because it was already posted. So, once we have our post, as an example, this is a piece of content that Meteor Go posted for us today. So we have them post a couple times a day, and then we push our own content here as well. So if I click share, now that we're here, right, the next part of the daily guide is going to be to share this, like we just talked about earlier, to our personal page. So when I do this from mobile, I click share, then I come up top, and I want this to go to my news feed, and so I click news feed. Sorry, I keep getting phone calls. Hold on a second. Should have put it on do not disturb, I guess, huh? Okay. So we're going to click share, we're going to change it to our newsfeed, and we're going to post, okay? There we go. So that's part of the guide. Now we've taken content, we've shared it to our business page, okay? Part of this is going to be to create a post for the business page is to use Canva. We're going to dive into this tomorrow in depth, but I do have a tutorial of how to use Canva, which is a free tool, so that you can use this. This will work on phone or laptop. So that doesn't matter, okay? For Facebook at least. When we get into Instagram, that needs to be on the phone. But everything else will work on desktop or laptop. I saw your comment there. There is a tutorial here on how to use Canva, okay? Step 6, share that piece of content, okay? So this is what we were just talking about, from your personal page into the groups. So once we share it there, okay, if I know that that piece of content is contextually relevant to a group, so as an example, let's say, let me scroll down here. This post here as an example is not an advertisement. So if I want to share this post here because I think it might be motivational to my local community group, all I have to do is click write post, change up here to click group, okay? And now these are all the groups that I'm a member of. I can come share that post right into a group. And then all I have to do is click the group and click post. And I'm going to share it into the group. And so now I'm getting exposure for my business page into the group. Now again, this isn't going to work if it's an advertisement because most groups don't allow advertisement. But if I'm creating content that brings value, so should you consider an Airbnb investment? Maybe there's people in Wesley Chapel that care about that. So if I click share and share it in my Wesley Chapel group, that's fine. It's not an advertisement for me. But what's going to happen? Well, they're going to see my business page, right? And so it's just, again, subtly associating me to real estate, to the community. It's just that connection point. It's all we're looking for here, okay? And for those of you that want to grow your business page following, you're giving that potential because then they're going to click on you, they're going to come to the business page, and you're more likely to get them to follow you. Okay? Hope that makes sense to everyone. If it doesn't make sense, comment in the chat box, and Otis will try and answer that as we go here. Okay? I do include a screen share here of exactly how to do that in the guide. So now step 7, we're going to go into Messenger, and we're going to send 5 different people a personal message. These are one-on-one communications, guys. This is just like sending a text message, picking up the phone, but we're going to do this with 5 different people. So I literally mean come into Messenger, and we're going to scroll through, and there's a couple ways to do this. You can just scroll down through maybe some old conversations, or if I click the compose, I can scroll through this way. And then you ideally want to find 5 people that you maybe haven't talked to in a while, and you just want to check in, or past client, or you know that something was going on in their life recently. As an example, Vincent Jackson, former Bucks player, right? He just got elected into a magazine. They're doing a whole story about him. So maybe I say, hey, saw that story they are doing on you. That's awesome. Congrats. Simple as that. Okay, we're having conversations. Again, go in, do that to 5 people. I think you guys understand what I'm doing here, right? Again, we're just connecting. We're trying to create connection points. We're trying to have conversations. It doesn't have to be about real estate, guys. We don't have to be that sleazy salesperson. It just needs to be a conversation. We need to talk to people, and this is a very effective and easy way to do it. All right, let's continue. Now we're going to go into LinkedIn, and we're going to do the same thing. Okay, 5 posts on LinkedIn. Now here's what I love LinkedIn for. Okay, number 1, we want to make sure that when we come into LinkedIn, we build out our profile. Right, all about us. Where do we work now? I want C21 completely in the top section there. I want a nice picture. And then I want to have all my experience here. I want the school. Why? Because those are all potential connection and commonalities that I might have with somebody else, which is going to heavily allow me to grow my network and engage with people. Okay? Now, LinkedIn is one of my favorite platforms on the planet right now for a lot of reasons. Number 1, when we follow this commenting strategy on LinkedIn, it's my favorite. Let's go look at a post with comments. Look what shows up. Owner at McCaffrey and Associates. Okay. Research advisory at Events Focused. Principal at MaxLit. Titles are in the comment. So if I have Realtor at C21 Beggins or Realtor at XYZ Realty, every time I go and comment on a post, subconsciously that person who reads the post, me, real estate, me, real estate. And you can see that if I do this consistently every day, right, and I'm doing the 5 on here like I'm supposed to every day, that's 25 people at a minimum. If only the poster ever reads that comment, I now have 25 people subconsciously look at me and associate me to real estate. I bet that's more people associating me to real estate than most people have in a week, right? So very simple, easy tactic to be able to do. So I love LinkedIn for that reason. I also love LinkedIn because I get awesome notifications and I have massive organic reach. So as an example, this post here was a post that I did the other day, over 1,100 views, right? 1,100 views organically. I didn't do anything, right? Look at all the engagement. That's awesome, right? So from an organic reach perspective, it's so powerful on LinkedIn compared. LinkedIn is almost like Facebook was 3 to 5 years ago when you could post and reach thousands of people very easily. That's how LinkedIn is right now, okay? But also, let's be really honest with ourselves. If they're on LinkedIn, it means they have a job. Do we want to have conversations with people who have jobs? I sure do, right? So I think that from just a platform perspective, you have a bunch of professionals at your disposal, okay? Then when I look at the notifications, I love it because they are going to tell me when someone takes a new position. Do I want to know that? Sure I do, because I want to be able to do this. And this is how easy this is. Say congrats. Okay, it types it for me. Congrats on the new role. Boop, send. Conversation is now being had with Joseph. So I get notifications when they get a new job, but I also get notifications when they get promoted, right? So that is also awesome because you'll see someone got promoted to this, and I can go in and say congrats. And if they just got a promotion, does that mean that they are making more money? More than likely. Ding, ding, ding. Want to have a conversation with them. They got a new job. Ding, ding, ding. Want to have a conversation with them. Maybe that job involves relocating. Maybe it means that now they can afford a bigger space. I don't know, but I want to have conversations. I want to start and make sure that I'm building that relationship. And LinkedIn makes it stupid easy to do it. Okay? So that's one thing that I love about LinkedIn. Another thing that I love about LinkedIn is if I click my network, I'm jumping ahead a little bit here on the guide, but that's okay. When I click network, they categorize my network and potential network in some really interesting ways. So obviously they know I'm in real estate. So very easily it's going to already pull other people who are in real estate in my area, okay? So if I want to network with other people and other real estate agents and other real estate executives, I can easily do that and just connect, and grow my network, okay? I can also, they also categorize it by the area. So for you as an agent, you want to know other professionals that live in your area? I think you do. Well, now I can come in, connect. Okay? So super easy. And if I click see all, I'm going to get a bunch more, right? Look how many. Boom, boom, boom. And I could just grow my network, grow my network. Okay? So these are all people that I can connect with. They also do it by job title, so similar roles, and they also do it on the desktop version. Let's see it here. On the desktop version, they do it by people that went to the same school as me, right? Which is really, really cool. So now that's why I want that profile built out, because anyone that maybe worked at your past company, worked at a job role that was similar to yours in the past, those are connection points that we can reach out and do. Okay, so quickly, we're going to go back now. We're going to do the same thing on Instagram. So I will show you that real quick. And I know there was a question about an Instagram profile. So this is a professional Instagram profile here. You do have the luxury when you're creating a brand new profile to set it up as a business. It will ask you, or you can actually turn your profile in settings. You can actually turn it into a business account. So I believe here, if I click business, set up Instagram shopping, I can set it up as a business account. So from the beginning, you can set it up, and I will send you a tutorial we've done. You can also, this is already set up that way, so I don't think it's gonna, let me show you. Okay, so here it is. So down here it says switch to a personal account. If this was a personal account, it would say switch to a business account. Okay, and all I have to do is click that link. It'll ask me some questions, and then it'll convert it over to a business account. So if you just want to take the personal profile you have right now and turn it into a business profile, that's the way to do it. And like I said, the advantages really are this, that one of the big advantages is I have insights, and I can look at my audience and demographically and start to really dive into who's looking, how old are they men, women, where are they from, like all that kind of stuff. So that's how you're going to do that on Instagram. Also, same thing on Instagram, because I want to move through this so Otis can go through Google My Business. Same thing that we were doing before, right? We're going to come in and we're going to scroll through and comment, okay? Comment. Same thing we've been doing on the other platforms. I want you to do that 5 times, okay? Scroll through here. Sorry, let's go here. Okay. So we're going to do that on Instagram. We are going to create a post on Instagram. Tutorials here on how to use hashtags, okay? Same thing we've been doing though. We're going to create content. Then on Instagram, we're also going to search hashtags. So follow this guide. You're going to search hashtags like hashtag Tampa Bay as an example. Then I'm going to go comment specifically on those, okay? Because I want to engage with other people from Tampa Bay. This is common sense, but this guide will walk you through literally what and how to do it. On Instagram, we're going to go comment on the 5 posts, like I said, and then I want you to send 5 messages just like we did on Facebook, but I want you to do it on Instagram, okay? Then we're going to add 5 people to our network each day on those 3 main platforms. So just like I showed you on LinkedIn. On Facebook, same thing. If I go to Facebook real quick, I can come up to my friend requests here. Oops, sorry, hold on. Let's see if I have any. I usually do accept them, so I probably don't have any there. I come here, and wish I had some open friend requests actually, so I would show you exactly what I mean. Oh, well, I guess we could do it here. So under people you may know, you'll see mutual friends. I want you to add them. Click see all, add friend, because you have mutual friends in common, okay? Those are important. Now I'm not just friending strangers, I'm friending people that I already have in common with me, okay? And so that's super important. So we're gonna do that, okay, on all 3 platforms. That way we're growing our network by 15 people a day. The key is consistency. So if you want consistent results, we have to do these things every day. And in total, this will take you about an hour to an hour and a half in the beginning and probably under 30 minutes once you get the cadence down. I know I didn't leave Otis a lot of time here. So Otis, dive into Google My Business. We are the last session of the day. So for those of you that can stick around and you want to stick around to hear Otis, if it takes a little longer, we have time. So we're not.
Okay, thank you, Mike. I'm going to go ahead and share screen. I want to bring it to one that I've already got set up. And the premise of Google My Business, first and foremost, is you're aligning your business model with the most powerful search engine in the world at this point. The second most powerful, as I understand it, is YouTube. And so they're aligned with each other. So basically, when you're speaking and you're creating a farm, you're creating advocates that are going to help you sell, eventually they're going to come across someone who has a real estate need. And they're going to say, oh, you got a real estate need? I need you to talk to Otis. Well, first thing that if someone doesn't know you, what they should do, and what I normally do as a consumer, is I Google Otis Bass. I'm going to Google who I'm going to work with just to get some kind of a background information on it and so forth. So what we're doing with Google My Business is you're allowing Google to gather the information about your business. You're basically putting it on there. It is free. And then you're aligning your business model with Google's algorithm. So just to give you kind of an idea of how it would work, if I go into Google right now, I've always competed with a painter from the 18th century as far as relevance goes. And so as you can see here, I'm starting to get more relevance here. But when we get to Wikipedia, we got this guy. So he's number 3. And so what I'm trying to do is just, again, gain more and more relevance. So your videos will pop up here, as you can see. And then it's just me versus this guy as far as him being, that's not me. No, I'm just kidding. I got a ticket the other day, so I have been arrested, or not arrested, but a ticket. And then we have people finders and so forth. So that said, when I go to my Google My Business here, what I've done is it gives you a plan. So you can create posts, you can create products and so forth to push out there. It gives information, and it also gives you insights on people who are looking at your page, who have Googled your name, so on and so forth. And then it also gives you, this is a really key part of this, it gives you the ability to attain reviews without having sold them a home. So you can, if you have someone that you worked very well with, but the transaction may not have been selling them a home, may have been something a little off or a one-off transaction, but they can still give you a review. You can create more relevance for your platform with Google reviews. It also allows you to put out products, photos, services. It links your websites. It links your social media sites. You can also create an ad. You can get a custom Gmail account. You can put your location on here. So when I go in on my page, I have Google My Business, when you look me up, you'll find the map on Google Maps as well for our South Tampa branch. Now, the cool thing, I'm going to kind of give you the broad strokes here. Another cool thing is if you have a project, which we have many projects, and you create a Google My Business for that particular project, you can also generate leads. And so what we've done here with West Shore Village, this is a townhome village over in the West Shore area, West Shore District. And as you can see here, since we've created this, we've got over 23,000 views, over 11,000 searches, and about 10,000 in activity. Now, our products that we put out there, and with Google My Business, you have 3 different categories and 5 products per category. What we did here is we wanted to use keywords. So on one, we just chose 3-bedroom, 3-bath townhome. But the ones that I find are very useful is rooftop patio, 2-car garage. These are really getting more traction, but we also use real estate, townhouses, South Tampa townhouses. You can see here some of the other stuff that we used, West Shore townhouses. And what we're doing here is we're just getting more relevance on the search engine per search. Now, if you want to see what the product looks like on Google, now they come here and then they can come into the website. Here's the product as we created it. I highly encourage you to have a good landing page. Now with our products and our platform, we do have a pretty good landing page. And so what we do on this one is kind of like funnels. We have the ability to capture on our landing page. So right here is a landing page that's provided by C21. And you'll see contact info. And then anything that happens here, I put my name, my email, my phone number. It goes directly to the agents. It goes directly to Devin. It goes directly to Deborah. You want your landing page to serve that purpose. You want it to funnel back to you. And then also you have the ability to create a website or put your website on here. Again, I want to really preface the fact of a landing page, because when you're looking at the behavior of the internet, you're generally dealing with about a 9-second attention span. So if your landing page is your website and you don't have a call to action for them to fill out their stuff so you can get back to them, then they're going to get lost in your website and they're off. They're gone. They're somewhere else rather quickly. So keep in mind, you've got to create a call to action and a landing page that's simplified for them to put their contact information and to get back to you. Now, an idea, here is some of the leads that we've created from this landing page. And so when they come over, you'll see it looks like this. West Shore Village, Google My Business, reply now. Right here's her name. And then we stopped by, there was no one there looking for. So this is our ability to go back to them. These are free leads. It's just basically, again, aligning your business model with Google My Business. Now, another thing that it will allow you to do is it will allow you to create your own website. And that website also, I'm not a web designer by any means. It walks you through it. This is just a rather rudimentary website. And we have a much better one that Puma created for us that we also have in here. But if you hit Get Quote, it comes right back into Contact Us. And this is where some of these leads are being generated from. And so going back to the Google My Business platform, when you do sign up with it, it's important to use your name, because if someone's going to Google you, they're going to Google Otis Bass or Mike Puma, because you are your real estate business, if you will. But it's also important to make sure that your brokerage is there. So that way, if you're in Florida, if you're in the state of Florida, as we know, we got FS 475, the statutes that we have to follow. And that means that if you're advertising real estate, you also need to advertise your brokerage, so that way people know that you are with the brokerage and that someone is responsible for you. But just as importantly, we have to maintain that code marketing with them. From there, again, with this particular one, this is a project that we've got. So if you're working with builders or you're working with a community or whatever the case may be, this is something that you can also use to help you out and help you sell your products. Now, for me, my products are my listings. And so when I come to my products, we at Beggins, we have quite a few beachfront projects. So this particular project is a beach house, duplex, rooftop, pool, and patio. As you can see here, I borrowed everything from here, so that way they can come back and contact me This is a pretty cool little project that's on Indian Rocks Beach, fully functional rooftop. These are 5-bedroom, 3 baths, or they can be a 3-2-2-1. And it gives them just enough information for them to reach out to me. And that way I can continue to not only nurture that lead, but it also gives the brokerage a little bit of advertisement as well. I have this listing right now in Lakewood Ranch. Again, I can push this out there. I can add it to, I can share this on my social media. I've got my keywords in here. So that way, if someone is looking on Google, they're searching on Google, I want to make sure all my keywords are in there. And then again, I have my landing page right here. And so if I were to go here, if someone clicks on this and they want more information on my product, I have a landing page for them to come back to. And then again, once they contact it, it comes back to me, the listing agent. When you're setting up Google My Business, it's generally a 2-part process. 90% of the time, once you've got your address in there and you've got everything in there, they're going to want to send you some kind of verification before they publish the Google My Business page for you. And so either A, it comes by mail, or it may come by text. 10% of them I've seen come by text, and that's published instantaneously. The others are always published after you get a code. That's a postcard from Google when they mail it to you. And they're going to mail it to that business address. So you want to look about 5 days later for that postcard to come. Once you have that postcard, you put in the information that verify that you are a legitimate business. And then from there, you are able to publish your Google My Business account. Now, once I'm back here with Google My Business and I start doing my posts, this also gives me relevance. And so the more photos I post, the more relevance I get. Here we are. And so some of my posts, the kitchen, outdoor kitchen. So you can see here some of the things I did to promote my listing, first and foremost. And then you can share this post on Facebook, Twitter, and email. And you can copy it and you can paste it when you want to put it out there as well. With that, hang on. Should have put this on Do Not Disturb. And then from there, I have a video that I put in here. We had a rooftop meeting at the beach. And so that video comes out. And then another one, I posted this of Reddington Shores, or Indian Rocks on this particular one. And again, I can share this post. I can go right into Facebook. I can go into Twitter. And that will, again, realign all the algorithms of Google with my post, with my Facebook. If you have Real Satisfied, if you have Zillow accounts, any of those accounts, it just helps bring more relevance to your business model. And so I'm going to pause at the moment and just see if there's any questions that are out there on chat.
Yeah, someone had just asked.
I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say, Joanna just asked if new agents should have it. So they want to.
Absolutely. I think if you have any kind of business, you should go ahead and create the Google My Business page for yourself, because you can tap it and link it to so many different platforms. And again, you're using the most popular search engine in the world to put your products out there. And the more that you use it, the more relevance that you get. You can use it also with AdWords. And then when you join it, they give you $100 of free advertisement. And then they will always help you. So they'll allow you to look at your plan. You see here, share review form, so you can share that review form. It gives you your performance over the last week. It is always assisting you. You'll see here, view on maps. So you'll see my Google My Business is on the map with Google Maps. You'll see where I am right here. Right here. And from there, my ad performance. So you can just get branding out there. It gives you, again, $100 free, and then you can add to it after that. And then you can view the insights. I'm sorry.
Otis, where do you go to join?
Where do you go to join? So what we're going to do is, you want to be in a Gmail platform or on Chrome. You want to see your photo right here. And when you see your photo, See right here is my obas29@gmail. So you can click on this and you can go to your business or it doesn't matter which one. I just want you to be on a Gmail platform. And then you're gonna go Google my business. When you're here, you're gonna see this. Go ahead and create, or just click on that. And then it'll say manage now. Once you click on manage now I've already created mine, so it's coming right back to me. So I would have to, let me see if I got an old platform. Here we go. This is an old email. So now it's gonna add your name. So this is where you put in Otis Bass and then Century 21. And it doesn't allow sometimes for all caps. Now I'm already here, so I don't want to create it, but what will happen is you're gonna put add your business to Google. And then you're gonna create your name. It's a 6-step process before you get to the verification. And so each time you do it, you go through, do you want it on maps? You're gonna say yes. It will ask you if you're the same business as your brokerage. You're gonna say no, because you don't wanna align it with your brokerage business. You wanna align it, you want yours to be your own business, even though you'll share the same address on the map. It'll ask you if you do outside services outside of your business. Yes, because we show homes. And then from there, it'll walk you through the rest of it. And once you're verified, it's gonna ask you to put your hours in. It's gonna ask you to update your, right here, update business hours, update online appointments, support from customers, post your COVID update. And so then it gives you insights on how well you're doing. So again, I come here, I look for queries and total searches. So some of it's direct, 60% is discovered, they just discovered me. And then 2.4% is branded. And so now you can, it allows you to make your adjustments on your products, allows you to make your adjustments on your services. I'm gonna pause for a moment, go back to the chat, hang on. And I think we're slightly over time. So I want to thank everyone for sticking around as long as you did, for everything that we were able to put out there today. And thank you, Mike, because I learned a lot today.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I went a little longer than I meant to there, so I do apologize for that. But I'm glad everyone was able to at least see this side of it too, because Google My Business is a huge part of it. I think we'll probably touch on this a little bit more tomorrow too, as we get into how do we create and distribute content, because this is, as you kind of briefly demonstrated, this is a very powerful way to be able to actually demonstrate content as well and distribute the content. So yeah, so we're definitely going to dive into that. Where can you find the daily marketing guide? I sent the link in, but for those of you that do not work for us, if you work for us, you'll find it in the app as well as the web version of the app that you guys have access to. If you do not work for us, if you go to joinc21be3.com, underneath of the agent resource section, you will see guides and ebooks. Click that and it's under that section. But thank you all for tuning into this session. Tomorrow we are going to dive deeper during our session into how do we actually create content, tools to be able to do that I think you guys are really going to like, and then actually how do we take that content and start to distribute it from a social perspective so we can get more engagement and grow our business. But thank you guys for tuning in. We really appreciate it, and we will see you all tomorrow. I hope you guys learned something today, and have a great rest of your Monday. Thanks, Otis.
Great day, guys.
See ya.